Do you understand me? Their Discord at 30K paying members is $1.5 million a month. A month. Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and today we're going to talk about gambling Twitter and why I believe personally it is dangerous to the average common bettor. Before we get started, I want to add a very important caveat. There are going to be moments in here where you may feel like it's necessary to drop down to the comments and say, you're just a hater. I can't believe you're pocket watching. I can't believe that you've never hit a 10-to-1 parlay and you don't know what it feels like. I can't believe you would take time out of your day to make this video to hate on people who are just trying to make a living. Please. All I ask is that you watch the entirety of this video before you make that comment, and if you still feel like you need to make that comment at the end, by all means, okay? I want this to be an open discourse. I want this to be a conversation, and so if you feel like I'm still being a hater at the end of this, then go ahead and call me out in the comments. I recognize that a lot of what I'm going to say can sound very haterish, but that is not my goal. My goal is to help the people watching this video who may not view what I'm about to say as a perspective or something that they've thought about before. So that is my goal in making this video. And I'm going to jump right to the end before we even get started, and then we'll work our way backwards. Here's the bottom line. I believe gambling Twitter sells the dream of winning thousands to people whose bankroll has a ceiling of winning hundreds. Most people are not content stacking small wins over time, which most of us know, if you've been betting for a while, is the best way to make money sports betting, not chasing these long shot parlays. This is something that's been brewing for me for a while. I've wanted to make this video for months, and I was kind of waiting for the perfect time. And JD hitting that monster home run parlay for $174,000 this week, I said enough's enough. Okay, enough's enough. It's time to make this video and talk about why I think gambling Twitter is so dangerous. So that is kind of the premise of this video. Let's talk about me personally. I'm going to share my side of things before I talk about other people. I think that's the best way to do it. Here's my moral dilemma. I want to be a face in the online gambling world, but I can only serve a small niche. That's what it says here at the bottom. So what do I mean by that? I don't like to encourage gambling. And I understand that by encouraging smarter betting, tracking your bets, playing within your bankroll and your units, playing all the promos and the boosts. I understand I'm still encouraging gambling by doing that. Just because you do all those things does not mean you're going to make money. It increases your chances significantly, but it doesn't guarantee anything. So I struggle with endorsing any sort of plays because I hate losing people money. And I don't want to be someone who loses you your hard-earned money. Okay, I've said it multiple times on my Dinger Tuesday videos and here and there on Twitter. This is why 90% of plays that I share are promo backed. People will ask me, what do you like today? And I often ignore it. I see it, but I ignore it because I don't want to be the guy who loses you money or who gives you a suggestion that causes you to lose. The best way you can make money, yes, is by playing promos and boosts, but learning on your own, learning what works for you and your bankroll, learning what you're comfortable with. I can't do that for you. All right. So that's my moral dilemma. Let's talk about some general pros and cons of Twitter before we talk about JD's example and how I feel about all things gambling Twitter. I do think Twitter allows people to gain knowledge and find resources. Those are very vague statements, but I think there is a lot to learn on Twitter that is positive. In other words, the main takeaway from Twitter pros is it can grow your gambling tool belt. If you're on there for 2 years and you're following the right people and you're learning things, you are going to become more experienced and more knowledgeable. So that's great. Now, here's the problem, okay? People rarely post losing bets. When's the last time you scrolled through Twitter and just saw people lose after lose after lose their $200 home run parlay, okay? You don't often see that. People are generally dishonest. They fake slips. They Photoshop slips to make it seem like they've won more or that they won at all. It's very easy to do if you know what you're doing, okay? They fake picket slips. They say, oh, look, I'm up 25 grand this month. Here's how I did it. Join my Discord, pay me more money, and I'll show you how you can make 25 grand. They're not including certain books that lose in their picket slips, or they're going back and retroactively regrading some of the, picket. It's possible, and it's being done. Okay. I think gambling Twitter creates FOMO. You see somebody win. You didn't win that play. Now you follow them and you're taking their plays because you don't want to miss the next big winner. And I don't think that's necessarily always good. Something that you can't control is the algorithm will feed your obsession. I have a problem myself with kind of keeping an eye on these big long shot Twitter handicappers that I don't think are probably positive long term, even though they do hit big every now and then. And what does Twitter do? It feeds me those guys. It feeds me their content. So if you are someone who is following these big massive bettors who betting long shots, Twitter is going to keep giving you that, which can suck you down a rabbit hole that you may not want to be down. And all of this can add to the average bettor over betting or trying to bet more to hit that big long shot winner. Very basic stuff. Let's talk about this. And this is where my hater portion of the video comes in. And again, I want you to listen to me very clearly before you call me a hater. All right. This is something that happened Tuesday night, July 9th, 2024. JD is a very famous sports handicapper. If you are on gambling Twitter, you know who JD is. He has almost 250,000 followers. He has a Discord, okay, where he shares plays with a lot of other handicappers. You can get his play. This play was posted in their Discord. If you had paid $50 for the month of July, you would have seen this before it hit. A lot of you probably saw it afterwards. 3-leg home run parlay, Westberg, Turner, and Cal Raleigh to hit home runs on Tuesday night, $1,100 to win $175,000. Okay, and it cashed. He hit this, which is great, okay, for him and for his business and for the people around him. And this is not a knock to him at all. He is allowed to and can do what he wants. You are allowed to and can do what you want. But I'm going to tell you why I believe this slip being posted across the interwebs is not good for 9 out of 10 sports bettors. That's the purpose of this video. It's not to hate on him. He's doing his thing. He's making a lot more money than I will ever make in my entire life. And I recognize that. I just don't think I don't find it to be as morally grounded as I would approach this space, or I'm trying to approach this space. How about that? I'm not calling him a bad guy. I'm just saying personally, I would not be comfortable doing what he's doing. Okay. So you see an $1,100 ticket. Psychologically, what does this do to the average bettor? Okay. And I'll tell you what I believe the answer is. And it may be wrong. It tells the average bettor you're not betting enough, or wow, look what you could win if you just bet a little more, or man, my time is coming. I can do that. I got to bet a few more of these parlays. I got to tail some of these. I can win this. If you kind of knock this down to an average bankroll, $1 on this parlay wins $157. Now, I'm not saying that's not a lot of money, but I'm saying it's not $174,000. $174,000 would change a lot of lives in gambling Twitter, okay? $157 is not going to change a lot of lives. It's going to give you more money to gamble with, okay? That you're probably going to lose if you chase, 156 to 1 parlays. The point is, people often on gambling Twitter look at this number right here and they obsess over this number. He just won $200,000 roughly, okay? And seldomly do they look at this number and say, yeah, but if Cal Raleigh doesn't hit a home run, he loses some people's week at their job. What you're getting, you lost a week's salary at your job. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you. Maybe the first thing I'll say before we go on to the next slide is try to put this in perspective. Don't look at this as a money thing, which is hard to do, right? I look at this and I say, gosh, $200,000 would change my life, right? But then I look, what would I put on this parlay? No more than $5. $500 isn't going to change my life. Right? I mean, it would be awesome. It would be nice. It would be great. But it's not going to change my life in the way this would. So that is my challenge to you. Let's talk about the Gold Boys Discord. And this is transferable across, multiple Discords, multiple Twitters. This is the ultimate problem that I have with gambling Twitter is it leads to people paying for services, paying for picks, paying for Discords, which I have been outspoken in the past about, and that I'm not comfortable with the general premise of what the paid Discord is these days, okay? Their Discord has 37,000 members at $50 a month. Let's say that 7,000 of those members are in there for free for whatever reason. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's closer to 15,000. I don't know. I'm going to just say that 30,000 members are paying $50 a month. Guys, that is $1.5 million a month. Do you understand me? Their Discord at 30K paying members is $1.5 million a month. A month. A month. Guys, an $1,100 parlay for JD is a marketing expense. That money does not matter. His $1,100 and your $1,100 is not the same. This goes back to the bottom line that I said at the beginning. They sell the dream of winning thousands to people whose bankroll supports winning hundreds. That's insane. And I'm not saying they haven't earned it. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm not saying anything to trash their brand, okay? Obviously, they're doing something right. I just have to wonder how many of those 30,000 paying subscribers have recouped their $50K a month and are up sports betting. That's my question. And I could be completely wrong. I would guess there are more down than up. Okay. And I'm not saying they don't talk about good, we'll get there. Okay. Here's a little more about their Discord. And again, this maybe seems like I'm targeting them, and I'm absolutely not. Okay. I've had conversations, not with JD, but with JFAR on Twitter. And I have respect for these guys. I just also think it's a little snake oily. Okay. Snake oil salesman-y. Okay. When you pay $50 a month, you get access to 14 handicappers in here. Okay. And you may be thinking that's awesome. 14 experienced bettors providing you with information. That's awesome for my $50. That's great. All right. How are you going to bet all that? Is your bankroll that big? Can you bet multiple plays a day from 14 handicappers? All right. And what happens if you tailed Sean Boys and the Prop Fathers and the Loctopus's plays on Tuesday, and you looked at JD's home run parlay and you said, oh, that's not hitting. 3-leg home run parlay. I'm going to save my money. Well, then what happens? Well, the next day JD posts a home run parlay, you're going to tail it because you don't want to miss it again, okay? It's just a monster FOMO, okay? I think this is a problem with this Discord. And again, I feel bad speaking on it because I don't know. Let me take that back then. I think for the average bettor, having to decide what place to tail out of 14 handicappers, knowing that you're already down $50 a month for the subscription, knowing that if you miss one that wins, you're going to feel awful because you tailed the loser that day. It's dangerous. That's the point of this video. It's dangerous. All right? So what's my advice? Where do you go from here? I would trust yourself. If your main goal is to chase big money fast, you've lost. You may get lucky and you may win that big money fast, but those strategies, getting in the habit of doing those things is not long-term going to be it. If you happen to hit a huge parlay and you're up money, my advice would be to stop or to take a break, say, I got lucky. Now let me figure out how to manage my bankroll and take this, step by step and be intelligent. Okay? That's the point. That's the bottom line. And that's all I have to say. So thank you guys for coming by. And again, nothing at all personal to any of these guys. I just think that to the average sports bettor, long term, this is dangerous. All right? Take care. We shall see you next time. And stop betting home run parlays.